where every Ghanaian will expect the new president to have a working majority in parliament. So they ruled that out. Their next option, which they felt was feasible, was to use brute force to try and prevent the declaration of the results of some outstanding constituencies where their own coalitions indicated that NDC had won, and to try and force a declaration in places which they consider were also weak for them to be able to penetrate. Ladies and gentlemen, as of yesterday, we mentioned the case of Upper Denchira West, where all the results had been collated. The district director and returning officer of the Electoral Commission was ready to do a declaration, and a sitting minister of state invaded the town with armed men, some in military and some in police uniform, wearing thick beard. That was the first time we were discovering that Ghana police allowed copious beard wearing. Maybe my deputy can be the next IGP. So there was a standoff between ordinary citizens determined to protect their ballot, and the declaration could not take place. The armed men led by the minister was insisting that should the returning officer declare the results, he was going to die. And this was a declaration from a minister of state. So, ladies and gentlemen, the returning officer had to be sneaked away from the constituency to Cape Coast, the regional capital, where there was a decision to bring the ballot papers and the results to Cape Coast for declaration. The good citizens of Upper Denchira West resisted any movement by 1 inch of the electoral materials. So they insisted on their grounds, and the stalemate remained till this morning. This afternoon, the Electoral Commission has eaten a humble pie. And as I speak to you, Upper Denchira West has been declared as a seat that has been won by the National Democratic Congress. In the following constituencies, Zabzugu, Takwan Suayim, and Sahioso, similar tax managed to overpower the citizens who were determined to protect their votes, and some charade of a declaration has been made without collation. And ladies and gentlemen, the rules of our elections are very, very clear. To prevent any errant electoral officer from standing anywhere to declare anything from his head, the rules are clear that after close of poll, when the pink sheets are compiled, parties are called together at a collation center. So in fact, the law provides for collation agents of political parties who must sit together around the same table with the Electoral Commission returning officer. And the reason why parties are given copies of the pink sheet is that when you come to collation and the figures for any polling station are announced for collation, each party will refer to their copy of the pink sheet and to confirm that the sheet the commission official is reading from is indeed the genuine sheet that has been compiled and certified by all players at the polling station. This is done with respect to all the polling stations. Because what happens at the collation center is an addition of results that have already been declared at the polling station. So nobody has the right or power to change anything. So all that you do by way of collation is to compare and confirm the figures, and then do the addition, and then everybody will accept the outcomes as the tally representing his or her political party. So without that important exercise of collation, any results that anybody pretends to announce will not be the results of the election that was conducted on December 7th. It will be a figment of their own imagination. And so, we are insisting that the returning officer for Zabzugu Tatale goes back to do the collation as properly required by law, and then NDC would accept whatever outcome that is arrived at. We are demanding, similarly, that the returning officer for Takwa Nsuaim goes back to go through the important exercise of collation and confirmation of the polling station results so that the totals can be acceptable by the political parties, including NDC. We are demanding that the returning officer for Sehuyoso goes back to do the important exercise of collation before results could be announced. We are treading this path, not oblivious of other legal options. But the important thing is that the courts in this country have established that the Electoral Commission cannot be stopped in the course of conducting their elections, not even by the court. And so we are still within the process of the elections, and we are demanding that the electoral officers do their duty to put this nation at ease. Because without a proper declaration, what are you taking to court to challenge? That is why we think that citizens must stand up and insist that the officers who are paid from our taxes actually do the work they are paid to do. And in the case of Savlugu, it went along the same path as Upper Denchira West, I want to use this platform to congratulate the courageous citizens of Sablugu who stood their ground, defied the military might, and I'm told already one person has been shot dead. But they defied the odds, stood and protected their ballot. And again this afternoon, the will of the masses has eventually prevailed, and Sablugu constituency has been declared as won by the NDC. We are urging the people of Tamale, Techimai South and Sene West to emulate the examples of Upper Dinchra West and Sablugu. They should stand firmly and protect their ballots. Already, 9 people have been gunned down in Techimai South. 3 declared dead, and 6 still in critical condition in the hospital. And again, bearded policemen have been set loose in the municipality of Techiman. They are roaming about, shooting sporadically and aimlessly, as if to declare Techiman municipality a war zone. We want to send strong signal to the government that these things cannot be happening on the blind side of Nana Akufo-Addo and his IGP. And let me tell you, yesterday, do you know who called me? The Inspector General of Police, James Opombuanu, called me. When I asked, why was he calling me? He said he was calling me because he has noticed that some people he claimed to be supporters of NDC have removed a barricade belonging to the Ghana police and have taken it to the NDC headquarters. And so he is calling me and insisting on the right of the police to enter our headquarters to retrieve a barricade, metal barricade. And I said, since this is not a video call, I don't believe that you are the Opombuanu IGP you claim to be. Because I knew Opombuanu to be a professional security man, not the type of politician who is speaking to me. And that, since when did he discover that suddenly I am the General Secretary of NDC? When they were shooting 9 people in Techiman, who are our supporters, had he forgotten that I was the General Secretary of NDC? What has he done about it? Ablekuma Central. When all these things were happening, what was he doing? And I said, I don't believe that you are the IGP. You are sounding like a vigilante leader of a political party. And that we, the people of Brahafo, are ashamed of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
because most of the killings are happening right in your backyard. And you have decided to abandon your profession as a security person. You have forgotten about the crown you are wearing. And you are confused about whether you should follow your conscience or follow your stomach. So he hung up.
The video is ready for teaching insights.
Never to call me again. I tried calling him back this morning when another death had occurred, but he didn't pick. So, ladies and gentlemen, Techiman's staff should stand firm and protect their election results. And to put your hearts at ease, we have all the pink sheets in Techiman's staff. I am told that National Security has sent operatives to now go and try and manufacture pink sheets, bribe people to sign fake documents and so on. Tell them that we have all the material we need. And let them know the same way I went to MIM to retrieve all the personal records of the thief President Kufuor was trying to appoint as a minister before they got destroyed by MPP, and for which reason I was nicknamed General Mosquito. I've done it again, and we have all the pink sheets in Techiman. And I have with us here the MP-elect for Techiman, and it's Christopher Bayere. Oh, give me your He has won the Techiman. And then we have our capable election director for Techiman South, Abdul Hamid, otherwise called Bin Laden. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the complete list of pin sheets for Techiman South. After I take my seat, I'll call him to feed in on a few details. So, in Senate West, at the time of the elections, some thugs from MPP invaded a polling station which is known to be the stronghold of NDC. Snatched the ballot box and were running away with it. This time round, the security people apprehended them and retrieved the ballot box with its contents intact. Unfortunately, they discovered that the MPP guys have themselves torn the MPP seal, but leaving the Electoral Commission seal, the official Electoral Commission seal, intact, and the NDC seal intact. Now, when it came to counting, The same MPP people who tried to steal the box in the first place now turn around to say that because there was an attempt to steal the box and their seal had been broken, they are rejecting the votes in that stronghold of NDC. Meanwhile, the box was not opened. The Electoral Commission seal remains intact, and the NDC seal remains intact. So that also generated another standoff, and the box has since been brought to Techima in the Borno East Regional Capital under protection. And I want to congratulate our people in Sene West for their vigilance. They have slept at the armory where the box is being kept. And as I speak to you now, they are still there. Our insistence is that the box must be opened and counted, and the results added to the tally, and the results declared. President Mahama won in that constituency and won at that polling station. That is the reason why MPP suspects that our candidate has also won there, and they foolishly think that they can prevent that box from being counted. We are urging our people on to insist that their votes are counted. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are. Sene West yet to be declared. Techima yet to be declared. Zabzugu, Takwa, Sahuyoso, a charade of declaration without collation, which amounts to nothing. So this is the update I have for you. But I have a small letter to the press too. I personally feel very disappointed. In your role so far played as members of the Fourth Estate. In Banda, when we were single-handedly facing armed military, it took a couple of press cameras to back me to ensure that the right things were done. How many press houses are showing what is happening in Techima? How many press houses are showing what is happening in Sene West? Why have you stopped talking about Takwa, Zabzugu, Sahuyoso, Ablekuma Central, Odododiodio, and the like? Do we still have the press we can be proud of in this country? Are you part of the problem or part of the solution? I am using your own media to call on Metro TV to come and tell her the source of the fake figures they were churning out. Let me use this opportunity to call on Joy FM to come and tell us the source of the figures they were churning out. Which of their reporters took those figures from the field? I'm calling on TV3 to redeem their image UTV, Peace FM, to redeem your image or posterity. If there is any blow up in this country, posterity will not forgive you. Ladies and gentlemen, bullets don't discriminate. I must repeat, bullets don't discriminate. So we are in this together. Let us fight to protect the democracy and prevent the country from blowing up because of somebody's greed for power and wealth. Or we have ourselves to blame. I thank you very much, and may God help and bless our homeland.
Please, can you stop the music? Thank you very much. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot one very important announcement. You see, the electorates show their lack of confidence in a particular government by the way they vote out the ministers in that government. Yes. This is a show of vote of no confidence in Nana Akufo-Addo's government. Yes. Look at the list of key ministers who have fallen. Professor Yanka, a minister for tertiary education and the leader for their flagship free SHS. It's gone. Alima Mahama, minister for local government, and was partly responsible for creation of new regions and making her hometown a regional capital. The people have voted against her. Professor Jambafo, the only representative of the Buzia faction in the Buzia Dankwa fraternity. The people of Wenchi have shown him the exit. I did mention some time ago that if Professor Buzia were to be alive, he would be a card-bearing NDC member. Because I'm from the same district. And I adored him. He was my father's classmate. Indeed, one of my kid brothers is called Yaubuzia. It tells you how close my father was with Professor Buzia. I am the General Secretary of NDC now. And Buzia's district has since been divided into 3 districts. Tai, Banda, and Wenchi. NDC has won all 3 seats. And has won the polling station at Akrobi, which is the birthplace of Professor Buzia. They are telling the Dankwa fraternity that enough is enough. Fisheries Minister, Afolikwe, is gone. Dr. COVID Okoboy, Anthony Cabo. He was going to be a beneficiary not the dog factory alone, but the Nyantechi scandal. You remember he was listed as a beneficiary. It's gone. Titus Glover. And the Deputy Minister of Defense, Major Derek Odro. The Deputy Minister of Bron East, who gave instructions to vigilante boys to shoot and kill if it became necessary during the registration, is also gone. And the Minister for Bron East of Atebubu fame, Sanja Nanja, has shown him the exit and his back. Honorable Pemka, Deputy Attorney General, Pemka, Deputy Attorney General, has been shown the exit by a widow. So there are several of them. Navrongo, Medina, and Adenta, and all that. I thought Boabia Samoa claimed that if you don't say, excuse my word, foolish things, you can't win elections in MPP. Indeed, he lost elections in MPP, or he won the primaries in MPP, but Ghanaians have indicated that they don't want foolish things to be said by their MP in Parliament. So it's also gone. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the fire is on. The flame that has been lit. Georgianda is also gone. Many of them. And indeed, Nana Akufo-Addo is gone. And so, I want to urge Ghanaians to stand up and defend this democracy. Yes. We have the duty. I'm calling on all of us politicians to also show that the nation can take it seriously, to do the right things. Otherwise, the nation will one day reserve the right to clear all the politicians, as our history have shown, and other people will come with weapons. If we demonstrate that we politicians are more interested in weapons, those who are wielding weapons will take over and use the weapons to rule this country. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the General Secretary. Thank you very much. Let me acknowledge the presence of the national national chairman of the NDC, Honorable Comrade Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. Let's give him a round of applause. Our two national vice chairmen are also here. Our vice chairperson, Honorable Sherry Eiii, is here. And our vice chairperson, Chief Sofo Azoka, is here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of talk about Techiman South. Our parliamentary candidate for Techiman South, Honorable Christopher Bere, will say a few words to us about what happened in Techiman South. and he will be supported by his abled Elections Director, Abdul Hamid. Now, before they speak, I want to remind you of a very important statement the General Secretary made. He said, bullets don't discriminate. At Kaswa Awutu Senya East, a journalist was shot, and I'm told is in a very critical condition as we speak. And so let's highlight these things. Let's amplify these things. That is the only way you in the media, you who are the fourth estate of the realm, can help us to nip this culture of thuggery and state-sponsored gun violence, which is becoming part of our elections. Now, let us see some video recordings of what transpired at the Constituency Coalition Center in Techiman South. Now, note that never in this country, never in the history of this country, have we seen military men in uniform and bearded policemen wielding sophisticated weapons in constituency coalition centers. But let's just take a look. I hope your cameras will be able to capture that. Some media organizations have been shown this, others have. For those who have, we appreciate you. We are grateful to you. But we would want to once again show you this video. Please, can you play the video now? This is the Chimai South. No, play the first one. Play the next one before you show us the injuries. Can it be enlarged? These are live bullets being fired. Live bullets being fired at a crowd who are not wielding any weapons. Can we see the other video of the injuries and those who died? These are the people they killed as a result of this. All because President Akufo-Addo wants to hang on to power.
Everybody must leave the hall. Everybody must leave the hall, please. Oh, yeah, leave the hall. Oh, yeah,
Votes, that is total vote cast, 101,287. We had 844 rejected votes, making the valid votes 100,443. Out of these valid votes, the candidate for the NDC, Christopher Beyere Basonti, garnered 50,569, representing 50.35%. The candidate of the MPP, Honorable Martin Kosa, had 49,874, which represented 49.65%. The voter turnout, percentage turnout, was 79.12%. This is what the NDC Techiman South had at our coalition point. I believe the MPPs also had their figure, and the Electoral Commission will also have its figure. Now, how will we know that this is the figure that is correct or wrong? It will only be known after proper collation of results. What do you mean by collation? The Electoral Commission has statement of pool or results declaration sheet, aka pink sheet, for each polling station. And at each polling station, that original of Electoral Commission gives birth to the duplicate which is given to the political parties. So the Electoral Commission will have to sit down, for the parties to also sit down, then we'll do what we call manual collation or tabulation of results from polling station number 1 to polling station number Z. Where we agree, we carry on. Where we don't agree, we resolve. When this one goes on up to the end, then that's what we mean by collation. Results have been collated. It is after this that representatives of parties can now come to sign the declaration form after the returning officer has done same. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing of this, what I've just said here, nothing like this happened at the Techiman South Coalition Center. At the Techiman South Coalition Center, before we could say, let's sit down to start our coalition, there were 5 polling stations that had issues. DAJHS, Hansa 1, with polling station code K01-2301B. There was this polling station 2, Al-Karia Atomic Road, Upper 1, Wangara Line, polling station code K01-1504. There was this polling station 2, Techiman Senior High Center B, with polling station code K010101B. There was another police station, Amiens Primary, another police station, Hanswa, DAJHS Hanswa B, K01-2301B and 2301A. So this issues around these 5 polling stations had to be resolved. 2 of them bordered on recounting due to alleged overvoting, as claimed by the agents at the polling stations. One of the polling stations, that is Hansa DAJHS 1B, that one had an interesting issue. Interesting in the sense that the Electoral Commission claimed it did not have statement of pool. In other words, it did not have the pink sheet. It did not have the pink sheet because, according to the municipal electoral officer, Samson Ofori Jamfi, the presiding officer for that polling station was harassed, attacked, and dismissed, as a result of which he could not prepare pink sheet. Then, upon investigation, we were told and confirmed that our agent, the NDC agent at that polling station, was similarly attacked and sacked from the polling station. Therefore, if the Electoral Commission did not have pink sheet original, there was no way we could have duplicate, because it is the original that should give birth to the duplicate. Surprisingly, the MPP had pink sheet, duly filled by candidates, and the Electoral Commission again sought to rely on that pink sheet to declare or accept results of that polling station. And this is what we said we were never going to accept. And I still insist, even now, I'm not accepting results of that particular polling station. However, even if results of that polling station are added to the entire coalition, Christopher Bayere remains the MP-elect. Ladies and gentlemen, at the coalition, when Hula Baloo started, in fact, at a point when we were going, an MPP representative, whose name I will not mention, came closer to where we were and congratulated some of my men, the IT men, because they had also done their coalition and realized they were losing. At a point, we were hinted from our own intelligence that we should be careful. The MPP and the Electoral Commission was planning something. There and then, we actually had to be smart. Now, for the coalition to be done, the EC officer, the returning officer, Nana Dwamena Frimpa, his deputy, Efa Gordon, these 3 people were in bed with the MPP planning what they were planning. But we were quick to have realized it. On the basis of this, we seriously demanded that coalition should be done, because you cannot do declaration where there is no coalition. After all, what are you declaring? You cannot declare what has not been collated. So we insisted that the regional boss should now come in to do the coalition and declaration, because the municipal officers were playing hide and seek with us. According to the regional boss and his deputy, Mr. Nyame, they were going to tackle an issue relating to Sine West, after which they will now come to us, we will gather our pink sheets, then we will do what we call the proper collation. The Electoral Commission will pick your pink sheet, polling station 1, NDC this, MPP this, rejected this, valid votes, total vote cast, then we continue. Now, before that could happen, the municipal electoral officer, instead of the returning officer, the municipal electoral officer decided that the 5 police stations that I mentioned